prepared to live stream the meeting. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. It's done. I can see that we have it. Okay. Any other, and this meeting's being transcribed. I'm okay, I can say that. I see recording, I see it live to YouTube. I'm ready to go. Okay, so folks, welcome back. And it was trying to transcribe and it was making sure that I am speaking English. Okay, in other foreign languages that I speak fluently, sometimes it sounds like I'm speaking in English because I have my American accent. And sometimes people think that I'm speaking still English, even using other words, like in Espanol or other languages. Okay, any comments or questions, you can put that in the chat and let our moderators, Sam and Andrea, let me know if there's something I need to adjust to. So let me talk about what is left for us, where we're going, what is going to be in the future. We took a test on Monday, and I'm in the process of grading your open-ended questions. And by Monday, you will have your scores, plus I hope to have a curve already established for you. Just like you had the last time, you'll have the curve. What I'm going to be doing is the multiple choice, and the open-ended will be done 50-50. Some of you did better on the open-ended, some on the multiple choice. One of the project questions that we have was on cloud computing. And the idea, many of you focused on cloud computing as storing the data, but in cloud computing, what can we also do is it's basically dealt with computation. It deals with hardware. It deals with operating systems and software. And basically, what is the key here is on demand. That any time that you want these services, whether it be hardware, whether it be platform, whether it be software, that it's available to you all the time. The only disadvantage is what? Is that we need internet access. And as you could see, last week, nearly a week ago, Zoom was down. This happens periodically when even large services like Zoom, who has many data centers and they have many backups, are exposed to these types of issues of being down. Why they were down, a lot of times they don't like to tell us. It's kind of like private information. As a matter of fact, it was up maybe at 450 that day for us. Okay, so that's number one. So your exam, you can see me after when you see your scores if you need to ask anything about it, but it will be curved at the end that we have that. Number two is we're going to have Monday, we're going to have our final presentations of your project. My goal is that I will see the final work of your projects. You should gear it to this is ready to go and be graded for a final grade. But what I'm allowing you to do is for minor corrections, I'll be giving you feedback. So you understand that, Sophia? So what I'll be doing is each group will be presenting and I'll be giving you feedback on ways in which I think could improve your project and improve your grade. So that way you'll have an opportunity to make those small corrections. But if the project is not complete, your links don't work, you will be, at the end, you will be penalized for your project based on, we're expecting this to be by the end of the time. So let's do this. The easiest way to do it is, let me share with you my screen. And in sharing with you my screen, I want to go to what's due. And in your what's due section, let me make sure that it's everything that you see is what I see. Okay. So we have the exam that was over, and we know that we have the final project in class presentation due Monday, the 28th. It will be online just like it is. And this is the difference. And if you can be so kind, Sam is put in the chat for everyone to make sure that they know you need to be on time. That means 5 minutes early. We will start exactly at, right, Lily, at 3:35. Lily and I were the only ones here waiting, and we thought we would be just lucky just to chat, sip some coffee, and then take a jog, but we weren't able to do that, right? So instead, what we're going to be doing is that you must come on time. If you have to, I know people have issues with the internet. You know how long it takes you to be online. And guess what? The beauty is here, Allie, you can be anywhere in the world. I don't care, right? You can be, as long as you have what, Allie? Internet access, right? That, and you want to make sure that you have good internet access. So that is the case. So where do you find that? You find it in the audit assignment. So if you look at the audit assignments, look at the final project in class presentation to the professor. That will be on Monday. So if we looked at the calendar, that will be on Monday, April 28th. So if you can put Sam in the chat that our final presentation is on Monday, April 28th, that everybody can see that. And what you want to be able to think about is you want to ensure that your fast spots, your VAPI is working correctly. How it's working correctly is you need to be able to see, you have the number, you'll be able to dial the number, you'll be even able on your mobile device to see if your website works. Click on the number and make sure that you can ask questions about your company. You want to make sure your website looks good on mobile as well. Ensure that all the links were properly, and you'll be presenting your project and what I call your final project here for my feedback. I will have Sebastian be able to be there and take notes, and I'll tell you about it. This is it. So what I'm going to do is, how many groups do we have, Sebastian?
I think we have
Can you please check?
with 10 or 11.
Do we have 10 or do we have 11?
I think we have 10.
We have 10. So that's why we're going to be starting right on time. We're going to be starting right on time, and I will start my recording and we will be ready to go. So we're going to start from group 1 downwards. So those that, who's in group 1, Sebastian?
Thomas, Valentino, Peyton, I
Okay.
think.
So group 1, you get there. I'd suggest group 1 be there ready 10, 15 minutes early, ready to go. Have a ready, and each group should do this, since we're going to be like doing, instead of speed dating, we're going to be doing speed presenting. You'll each have roughly about 7 minutes to present your feedback, and since it's going to be many, you will then have everybody in your group attending. You will show everybody's face who is there in your group. You'll introduce everybody in your group, and then you will assign one person to go over your presentation. You will have one person to go over your presentation, though when we get stuck on something, of course, others can chime in. For instance, Lillian, you can say, oh, this was the problem if somebody else in your group is presenting. Okay? So did you get that, Thomas? Hopefully he did. So in this case, assign one person in the group for class efficiency. What I want you to do is each group make up a slide presentation and make sure that that slide presentation is available to everyone, that it is not just closed or assigned to one person, because many people are going to be looking at your slide presentations. You want in your slide presentation to give a cover of who is in the project, who are your group members, and basically you'll go through your slides. On one of your slides, make sure that you have a link there that is linkable, that when somebody goes through your slides, you can link on it and it will open up to your website. The main purpose of what I'm going to be doing is you're going to show of your social media. You'll be running through your website. You're going to show your team page. Make sure your team page is just not pictures, but as I said before, that it is professional and talks about each person's role. If you have bookings, remember that each student has to make a video on one of the AI tools. Make sure next to it, there's a summary in writing on what this showcases rather than just a icon of a video describe in a short few sentences what somebody will see when they press the video. You want to not only show the fastbot, but you want to ask questions about who's on the team, what is the purpose of your company, what is the purpose, what services do you provide. If it keeps on saying it doesn't have that information, you have to go back and make sure. You have to give a little note on your LM podcast. Make sure your notebook LM podcast refers to your business. You want also SEO was part of one of the tasks. So you want in your slide, you want to show your SEO checklist set up. Be a good idea if you can also show that when you search your company name that you find it. Hopefully you do. On fastbots also, you want to show a slide on the dashboard of fastbots. So what I would do is make sure that everyone in your group at least has tried out your fastbot. So this is let me emphasize again, this is a group project. Everyone in your group has to not only click on something, but respond to all your links, all your posts. There shouldn't be social media that it was just posted and nobody's responded. At least you have 3 other people that you can attribute to respond. You can respond a number of times, have some type of chatting about that. Also, the same way with your fastbot, each person in your group should try out the fastbots. So in this case, when you have your dashboard, you'll have it populated. You should do this way in advance, not an hour before, but rather starting it ready today, start checking all of those. So you can see in this case, it will give the chat history, the leads, the Q&A, the overview. And in this case, questions that you can make sure in this case, Intel AI, gentleman, and asking questions. The last thing you want on your slide deck is contributions. This is a list of every member in your group, and you want to put in stating what has been their contribution to the project specifically. Not that I just participated or I gave support, but specifically, what did you do for the project? Any questions on that? And I'm going to stop sharing and see it. Thomas Alexander, is that clear to you? Okay. So basically, tonight, what I suggest is you work on your slideshow, plus you work on a minute of fixing up your website. One of the things I also want to make sure is a lot of you use the AI generator. I'll address your, Thomas, I'll address your issue in a moment. Is you use the AI generator. When you read that, it gives many times almost that hallucination feel or that AI feel that it says a lot of the words, right? But it isn't pinpointing exactly what you want to do, Thomas Alexander. So make sure everyone in your group needs to review it and with new eyes saying, okay, this is the first time I'm looking at it. Hopefully this is not the first time you're looking at your project, but is it basically telling the user or the possible client that we have what we're all about? Thomas was asking about the dress code. The dress code should be what I call business casual, meaning that you need to wear a shirt. I would wear a shirt and I would have my background at least be that I'm not laying on my bed with my, puffy pillows, right? So Ariana, we want to have in a way, right? We're dressed appropriately. You all have shirts on, it's not, beach day, but it doesn't we can be cool and hip too. We're a startup, right, Thomas Alexander? We're a startup. So a lot of startups, we don't need to be with heels and suit and tie. So in this case, just for my sense, comb your hair, maybe, and just look alert. So you're all going to be on camera. You're all going to be, but you'll then assign one person to your group, and I would go ahead and definitely rehearse it, and others in your group basically give feedback. You'll be going through it. I will be doing it for my purposes, and it may not be smooth. So for instance, in this case, and why don't I have Luca and Zach and all the other ones camera on, and Asher and Zach? There's no reason why you guys can't turn on your camera. Give me some respect. Thank you. I appreciate it. So in this case, I feel like it, I can see if you don't have, if you're not feeling well, I can give you permission, but it's a way of giving mutual respect here to everyone. So my goal here is I may be saying, okay, I've seen that already. So for instance, Thomas, with your group, we've already gone over it twice with your group. I probably will focus like on your group when we do group one, and hopefully we can even do it shorter, is I may even say, show me what I haven't seen. Show me your improvements. You understand that, Thomas? You'll go through your slides quickly, but then show me as you're going through it, show me. Other groups, when I saw your group, your work, it was not complete. So you'll go into more detail and show it to me. My goal here, and Sebastian will be with me here. My goal is that you will be able to focus in on what is missing for your final recording. So as if I'm giving this to group one, after you get my feedback, I want you, when you do your final recording, also address when you uploaded of additions, what you've changed since the last time I've seen you in our final presentation. You got that, Thomas? So for group one, you say, okay, I fixed the background, we put in more posts, whatever you've done, put that in your comments of improvement. So when we look at it, we say, okay, this has been checked off. It may be for some groups, not many, that I'll say, this is fine as is, go for the recording. But it's always that idea that you want improvements. You want to, from now to the end, there's time to do additional social media. There's now a time to see additions on your fast spots, to ask additional questions on your fast spots, other ideas. Questions for what is due for the presentation. Andrea, any questions you personally have?
No, I think I'm kind of on the same page as Lily. Like all our stuff is done, but we just have to tweak things to make it look nicer and just ensure it's working. But yeah.
And what I would do too is review, Andrea, what is it saying? Go hone in on a lot of it, make it short, a lot of descriptions, but what are you offering? What are your offerings? What is your problem? What are you going to try to solve? And then I'll be able to, if I'm a potential client, I'll take your services. But be specific on what services. You know, AI is great in being vague. You know, nice to everyone, but it's not going to be designed well enough. It still hasn't gotten to that point. In the future, maybe. Any other questions on how the presentation is? Okay, next. We okay, Kristen? All right, everything cool? Good. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be sharing is we got that. So at the last time, make sure that you are allowing. So this is our final project. We know that everybody comes on time. It's not one of these that we slack in, 15 minutes late. We will be taking attendance, but it's the idea that everybody should be available and ready to go. And we will see then, Sebastian, maybe we'll spotlight then. I don't know. We'll see if that works. What do you think, Sebastian? Of spotlighting our presenters?
Yeah, I mean, I think when they speak regardless, it's gonna like flash them anyway, so.
Okay, so maybe we can do that, or maybe we can do it in this case of spotlighting then all the group members. We'll see how that works. Okay, that's number one. That is due, we know. You know what it would be good then here on this final project in class presentation? Let's put in the date on when it is, or we can, do you understand this? Or you can put a note there to Daniel for what's due section, right? The audit assignment under the audit assignment instructions of that final project. But it's okay, we said what's due before. Okay, the next one is the final project, final steps. This, if I go back to what's due, we don't need that. The final project, we know that in class is on the 28th. The final assignment for this class is May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd. Why did we choose that date? Do you think, Lily?
That's the day our final.
That's the day and time of the final. So instead of doing another third exam, I don't think you need a third exam. Do you want a third exam, Lily? I don't think so. We got enough exams here. We got it out of the way. So in this case, work on the project. So that's why it's due May 2nd at 2:00. Make sure it is in, and there's no reason why you shouldn't. If you are finished on April 30th, you can upload it too. You understand? It doesn't matter, but that is the last time that it will be accepted. You can see, and this is the final project, final steps in the audit assignment and the peer review. So let me do the final project that we can do. So if I go to audit assignment instructions, now I have then final project, final steps is what is my goal? My goals are record a video of your group presenting your projects. In this case, then, Andrea, it's everybody in your group will be presenting. You then can make sure that you rehearse it, because whatever you put in this recording will count for yourselves. Plus, what my goal is that you can use it after this class is over. You want to submit it via the audit section in the final project folder. And then you'll also complete the peer review. But let's talk about what those steps need to be. So you're going to record a video, and it's not by 5/2/25 to 2 p.m. You're going to record the video way before that, because it needs to be submitted at 5:10 2 p.m. Okay? You'll do about a 10 to 15 minute recorded presentation of your project. The way you will be recording it will be different than how you are presenting it to me. You will be recording it as if no one knows about your project. They haven't seen anything, and think about it as if you were presenting it to potential investors. Because wouldn't it be great? I think some of these projects you could actually make a company out of. And if you got or you could even, I think if you got a great domain name, you got a great website, and you say, hey, we'll support you, you could sell it, kit and caboodle. You can basically say, hey, I'll pass over, you have your domain name for a year. You can make sure that before the end of the year, you, even after the end of after, at the end of May, that you make sure that those that put in the credit card, that it doesn't get renewed. But you could sell this, or at least show it to others. Also, make sure you live stream to YouTube. So whoever is doing the recording should have a channel that accepts a live stream. You remember that was one of our first assignments. You remember that way back, Thomas Alexander? You remember that? That seems like history already, right? Where we did the YouTube channel. So make sure that you're going to record to the cloud. You're going to do it without a password. So make sure that your settings are set correctly. Make sure that your settings are to stream live to YouTube. So all of this you should try out, not on May 2nd whatsoever. But can you put a note there, Sebastian, for Daniel to correct that, and maybe put that at the beginning, is submit your materials before 5/2/25, not record a video by then. Use your PowerPoint slides, the same thing as you did before. You can use the same PowerPoint slides. If you want to improve some of those PowerPoint slides, you can do that. You can put a note there of what you've changed in your PowerPoint slides. You can make it more succinct. You can emphasize it. Make sure that what I suggest is those people, whatever they contributed, be able to speak at that time. Make it fluent, that you know who you're passing it on to. So rehearse it. Show the social media works. Show that you have enough posts on your each social media page. What I suggest too is you should have more posts than when you present it to me on Monday, because you have time. the team, your bookings, all your videos, your fast bots, your notebook LM, calling your VAPing, and showing your contact page. And I would go into most people. I may not even spend time with your on my end, looking at listening to your notebook LM. I would even play for maybe 30 seconds or something, your notebook LM, to show how it's working. Some of you may also, what I think is, put a note that if others would like this type of podcast, it could be one of your services, or we'll create podcasts for you, for your company, and we'll keep it current, or we can teach you, depending on your company, we can teach you how to do podcasts. So I would do it. Same thing with VAPI. Not only call the VAPI and ask a few questions, but if you would like your own phone number and a caller agent, your company can give those services, provide those services. Show your contact page, go back to your presentation for the rest of the slides. But even when you do that, you have flexibility. I don't want to, all of this needs to be covered, but you decide how you want to present it. Some are good in PowerPoint slides, but things that are actual live, I want you actually to show your video, because I just don't want you, like on the fast spots, you want to show that it works. Your LM, you want to show that it works. Your VAPI, you want to show that it works. And then you can show your fast spots, and then this too can also be one of your services. So all these things that we've required you to put in, think about it. You can also give this as a service. You may even want to give a service to let them know that you are streaming live to YouTube from, and you may even want to put that on your website. You'll teach them how to stream in the same time they're recording on Zoom. They can stream live to YouTube on their channel, and how they can we can promote you more in social media. So this, and some of you may want to do that as well. So this can be, some of you are taking it for granted, but I would think most businesses have no idea they could even do it, let alone do it. Even kind of the things on the VAPI, I was asking a number of people that are selling these services about 1-800-CHAT-GPT. And inevitably, I don't find one person that even knows that it's available. And when I ask them, what do you think 1-800-CHAT-GPT is? And they say, I have no idea, even though it says 1-800-CHAT-GPT. So you've taken this for granted. Go ahead and sell it. Sell it as a service. Sell it as a way. We'll teach you. If you don't want to be as a service and deal with each customer, basically what you can say is, we'll teach you how to do that. And you can do it on your own, or you can hire someone to do it on your own. So the last slide again is, you're going to do each member of your group. Specifically, this may change too, because between now and the end of the semester, and when your presentation may not be all the contributions. So basically it may be that person, I did also the Zoom recording and used my YouTube channel and made sure I edited my YouTube channel as well. So you can do additional edits to your YouTube channel using that. Then under your group folder in the audit section, under the final projects, you'll have a section of corrections, since this will not be, this you'll put in, right? This should be a URL that's clickable, of course, and this should be in your corrections, since feedback from the professor. Final group link recording, that's recorded with no password. Final group YouTube live stream. And make sure your AI companion summary meeting that you've used before already, make sure you put that into. Just all of this, you can give as a service. If it makes sense to you, hey, we'll show you how to make summaries of meetings and posting it, sharing it, and make sure your final group presentation PowerPoint is attached within the folder. And here is your PowerPoint, any additional media. Questions on the recording? Anything I need, Andrea, anything in the chat that I need to know about?
No, nothing in the chat.
Okay, so that's clear. The next thing,
Professor, I have a question.
sure.
So realistically, the recording on Monday isn't like, that's not our actual final presentation. That's more of like the first run for the video that we're going to submit on the 2nd or before the 2nd.
Perfect way to say it. Couldn't have said it better. I'm glad that you're my chat GPT. I prompted you and you came up with a more succinct way of saying it. Yes. But what I would do is, this is great, basically a trial run, but what I'm going to be doing differently, Christian, is I'm going to focus in on things that need to be improved. So I'll stop you. You know what I mean? You don't need to introduce all your team members. You know, this is my CEO, my CFO, blah, blah, blah. You don't, these things, but rather I'm going to focus in on the things that need improvement. That's what I'll say. Some things I may say, hey, wow, it looks so great. Did you look at your mobile site? You may want to even take your mobile phone and basically also have someone in your group also sign in with their mobile phone as well. So then you can share your mobile, or you can even share, if a better way is, you can take screenshots of your mobile and show, hey, this is my mobile, how our mobile looks like. That, Christian, I leave up to you. But your mobile should look well, because guess what, Christian? Where do people mostly look at things, right? And look at sites is on their mobile, right? So, but, and Wix has its issues as well. So it needs an AI. Wix should have an AI that adjusts automatically, right? Wix is, they have a lot to be desired on a lot of things, that they're behind they're not behind the 8 ball, but they're really behind in a lot of ways. They're trying to get up there, but the advantage, why was I using Wix? Not because it's the best web development tool at all, but because I have that academic partnership with them, that they have given us their business business plan, that we can get free URLs from them, right, Christian? So that's why I'm using them. Don't think I'm using them because I think that they are the leaders in that, okay? But that's a great idea. Think about Monday as your first round, and I'll give you some tweaks. Hopefully I'll give you some tweaks there and say, hey, just improve this, and you'll know that you'll improve, this isn't clear, but many of the things that I tell you, Christian, everyone in your group could see that too, right? If you actually did an evaluation and looked at each other's work. And that's where, Christian, this is where it's group. What I found sometimes with groups not working well together is I did my part. I did my fast part, or I didn't. Well, that's not enough. You have to look at everybody's work, because you will get, Christian, a grade based on your whole project. Plus, you'll get a grade for your individual work, right, of what you've done. So together, you want to make sure you've done that. But thank you so much. Extra credit for sharing that with me. Anything else up to now for the presentation of the recorded one? Okay. It will also be, Christian, it will be longer than what I'm giving you, because I'm limited in time. I want to just focus on the things that need to be improved. You're going to be focusing on, hey, this is for investors. They don't know anything about this, or potential clients. This is our group. So for those potential clients, basically, these are our team members. You'll have that last slide right? But you won't be emphasizing it in your recordings as much. You know what I mean? That, for yourself, I did, Christian, to say I did these kind of things, but rather these are the contributions of our group. Next, if I go back next to my sharing. So we got that final part. The next part is a little bit different. And maybe in this case, Sebastian, you can maybe clarify that in the chat as well. The final project peer review is done after you have submitted your final project recording. So Sebastian, can you put a note there for Daniel that this is what it should say, is this is the last step, should be done after the recording. Can you be so kind, Sebastian?
Yeah, I'm texting Daniel right now.
Right, and let him know. Everybody understand that? And so
Oh, I'm
Chris,
here.
you understand that this peer review should be done after all is done. I'm ready, I've submitted this, and that's why this should be done. Your submission should not be done at 2 p.m., but way before 2 p.m. And then after you finish your recording, then at this time, everybody will be doing a final project peer review. This will be submitted differently. It will be not uploaded, and I hear not as your regular audit section. And if you look at it, this is where it will be uploaded. You'll click on that, and once you have filled this out, it will be submitted as a PDF, and you will submit there. I also suggest that you submit for this. So this is the final project preview. So if I go back to the audit sections, you'll see that I have, in this case, you have it as a doc file, but I wanted it to be uploaded and saved as a PDF. This is the peer evaluation form group. This will be confidential. Each person will submit it, and I will review it. You will put your name, your team, your company name. And in this case, you will type in yourself, you will type in your name, your group member names here, and from 1 to 5, you will be given yourself in a grade. And I want part of being a real group, a real company. As I said, I didn't want any false testimonials. I wanted this to be real. I wanted this project to be doable. Is your response will remain confidential. It's not going to be shared among team members. This evaluation is intended to ensure fair grading, be accurate when grading yourself and others. And, there's a tendency I've had where, you can tell whose project is really good and who's just kind of thrown it together. And some of those folks that have just thrown it together have just said, our project is, the best since sliced bread, and we give everybody 5s, and everybody did a tremendous job. And when I look at it, I said, you got to be kidding. So in that case, it doesn't reflect well on you in your own evaluation, and it doesn't reflect well on others. And others have told me in the past, well, I don't want to be a tattletale. This is a professional group. We're not in kindergarten anymore, folks. So this with me is trying to be a professional group. So I want this to be responsive, the quality of work to do. So after these 1s through 5s, and this peer review is, I want for each team member then explain a detailed paragraph why you assign each of these given scores. And make sure you're going to give specific examples rather than everybody's 5 and somebody say, I don't even know what they did, but that basically put this, and if you need to extend it, any of what have you done for the project, anything particular, list any specific task, any issues, person 1, person 2, 3, 4. And if you want to put an extra comment there at the end of, I had special issues, or these were things that I thought were just tremendous that I wanted to let me know. I do read them carefully. It's not something that I take, that just throw out there because we're supposed to do that. I take this very seriously. So if you want to give me, send me something, that it will be sent. It will be just viewed, this is sent to me. Okay. And let me just close this. Hey, Daniel, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, so you know what, Daniel, it may not be bad since we have, every time I'm telling Sebastian, text him this, text him
I already
this.
fixed that.
Right. But is the idea maybe what we want to do as well? What's this? Exhibitors, I don't need this. Is add on our peer review. 2 things is make sure that my only condition here is that this
Refresh the page. It's fixed.
okay, that this should, maybe we should put it there, that the date you should have it done earlier than the assigned task, because the final project peer review needs to be done after their final recording. So if they wait to record it by 2, then their peer review, and I want them to take time about their peer review as well.
Well, the assignments will all disappear at 2, so everyone knows that.
Yeah, but I know they'll disappear at 2, but what I want them to do is space themselves, because if they said, hey, we did the recording, we finished it by 2, I don't have, or even let's say 1:50, let's say, I don't have enough time to really think about my peer review. I want this peer review not to be just done in a minute, but really thought about seriously, that I'm time to evaluate myself on what I could improve. So what I'm thinking, Daniel, is even in the peer review, have a section, just 1 line there of changing it to additional comments.
Okay.
And you may want to do that after a review, is just stating additional comments if anybody wants to add additional comments there on how they've done, or on how the group worked, or this was the best group I've ever been in, kind of thing. And we, really did this. I'm taking this show on the road, or, these were issues that, 2 people did the project and 2 other people went for a ride. We couldn't communicate, or whatever they want to say, or this should be changed in the class, or whatever, it's almost like for final comments of a section. I think that'd be useful. Also for us, Daniel, on how we can improve, right? Because we're always changing this. This is one class that we keep on changing. You know what I mean? But every semester it's different. Okay. So that part would be even when it was due, then on what's due section. Yeah, that making sure that this final project here, maybe in this one on the assignments, make sure that the final project is due well before your peer review, something like that.
Okay.
You'll figure it out. It's almost like the final project should be done, well in advance. Okay, what else do I need to think about with you? Oh, let me just do this too. There's a program that I found that I didn't have time for it, and maybe we'll do it next semester. And those of you that have some time, maybe want to look at it. This is called PickyBot. This is an app that you download. I've met with the founder of this company, and basically what you can do is you can give it pictures, and other sites are doing this as well. You can give it pictures or video, and it gives you descriptions of it. This gentleman, he's now in India. He's originally from the Netherlands, but he's living in India because his development team is in India. Isn't that kind of dedicated? It's committed, right? So he moved to India, and he's basically gearing it for blind or low vision. I think, and I'm going to go, that this bot can really be used for other applications. I think especially for security. You know, when something is suspicious, that you'll get not only the view of it and alerts, but you'll get some descriptions, maybe for the police. I don't know. Or what? So if you have time, and let me know, you can send me a note or let me know. Look at this and see if you think of any other applications. I'm going to get in touch with him again and see also if we can get a academic partnership, because he has a free version and a paid version on how it works. It also works with WhatsApp. And does anybody hear about it? You know, like Meta glasses. It works also with Meta glasses. So in Meta glasses, if you're wearing it, you could say, hey, send these and take some videos, send this to PickyBot. Or if you're on the PickyBot, send it to my WhatsApp. So this is kind of interesting on that aspect. So especially look at that and give me feedback on it. Okay. What else? So any questions, comments? Are we all right? Anything in the chat, Sam? Anything in the chat I need to know about or you have, Sam? Yes, no? Maybe so. You have a comment, Sam?
No, I think everyone's okay.
Okay, everyone's okay. And then the other thing is, Daniel, you want to announce that you're going to be doing, I think you sent it to everyone.
Yeah.
I appreciate it that you are going to do office hours this Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just send me an email if you plan to show up, and I can help with any issues if you have questions about the course, anything, feedback you want to give, but mainly project related stuff.
Yeah, project related stuff. So if you want somebody or you're stuck on something, and then Daniel, I think you'll accept also texts from people. Yes,
Yeah.
no?
That works too.
Yeah.
I'd prefer emails, but you know.
No, but I'm just saying,
whatever
no,
form.
your emails. And Sebastian, what about you?
I prefer message.
So text Sebastian. Many of you are used to working with Sebastian. Text Sebastian, you're going to accept text till now on Monday? Wow.
Yeah, I'm accepting any question you guys have, just message me and I'm willing to work with you guys.
Right. And Daniel will have, Sebastian's your TA for this class. Daniel will give a special Zoom. You'll do it on Zoom, Daniel?
Yeah, it'll be on Zoom. I'll post the link and announcements earlier and Thursday morning.
Okay, great. So he'll set up his link. And so so they'll check their announcement. Where should they check it?
Yeah, it'll go to your email as well.
Okay. So either go to the announcements or emails. Okay. So I look forward to seeing everybody. If you can, Sebastian, you want to take attendance?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
And as usual, I'll stay with everybody. Any questions you have, comments, I'm always available to you to see how it's working. And as I mentioned before, we'll go over on Monday your presentation, and I'll finish up your open-ended, and then we'll have a curve. We'll set up a curve And we'll post that too. Okay. Anything else, stay with me. And did you get a attendance score, Daniel?
I got it. I did it right now.
Sebastian, you got it?
It's 4678.
Okay, so
Share
can
it.
my moderators put it in the chat? 46, or he's gonna share his screen. 4678. Okay, so put that in, stay with me if you have additional questions. Otherwise, looking forward to fantastic presentations, and I have to get my checkbook out to see who I want to invest in, right? Who I want to be partners with. So hopefully the stock market will go up, right? I think it went up, right? Daniel, it's gone up today, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Our president says he ain't firing Powell. So it's really good, huh? It's no, okay, perfect. So you're welcome. Okay, so stop sharing 4678. Sebastian is there and I'm ready to help anyone. And we have this online. Okay, and now let me stop recording then. My YouTube live, I can stop. My regular